Hey, Richie Pryor here, and today I'm going to help a wife get to the bottom of why her husband doesn't want to cuddle after having sex. After sex, it's just lights out. Hey, I'm Richie Pryor, and today I'm going to help out a couple that's having trouble with post-sex cuddling. Here's the story. My husband is an absolute best friend, but apparently post-coital cuddling is his sore spot. I've noticed after we have sex, he tends to go on his computer or get distracted by something else. I voiced my sadness that we don't cuddle after sex and how much I enjoy it. Besides the computer, one of the other distractions to the cuddling is our old dog because he starts barking in the middle or right after sex. Last night, our dog started barking towards the end of sex. We took him out really quick. Sorry. No judgment. After getting back inside, I told him I'm ready for cuddles and go to our bed, but my husband went to put his retainer in, take his nighttime pill, and turn off his electronics. A total of probably 2 to 3 minutes, but the time he's turning off his computer, I'm already upset and told him he wasn't prioritizing the cuddles. For me, I felt like sex got interrupted by our dog, so once we got our dog taken care of, we should go back to bed. He feels like 2 or 3 minutes isn't a big deal. Are my expectations too high? And is it our dog's fault that we had to stop? I think 2 or 3 minutes is a very short time to do some tasks, but I want our sex aftercare to be a priority. I want to feel like he can't wait to get back into bed with me. Instead, I feel sad, like a post-nut clarity afterthought. How do I convey this? Or am I expecting too much? We already spoke about it last night and didn't get anywhere. Okay, so you want cuddling after sex and he's got his night routine and he doesn't want to give that up. Okay, number one, the dog. A couple of things going on with the dog. Either the dog's jealous, and I had dogs like that. When my wife and I would get intimate and try to connect, my dog would climb in the middle of us and lick my face. So the dog could be jealous. That's one. Second thing, highly unlikely, but maybe your husband trained the dog to be part of his nighttime routine. Hey, Rover, after sex, after we're finished or near the end, you start barking so I can take you out and I don't have to cuddle with her. Likely, unlikely, most likely unlikely. And then the third thing, dogs are creatures of habit, so maybe when you guys are moaning or groaning, or maybe the lights are out and you're in bed, that's his cue that he has to go pee. Like for my dogs, when I lift the top of their cookie container, they're up and they're on the ground right by my feet because they know what? Something's coming. That's good. And maybe he identifies you guys moaning and groaning or whatever you're doing with the lights off to my time to pee. So what can you do with the dog? You can't stop a dog from being jealous. That's one thing. So forget that. Second thing, you can train the dog yourself to hold his pee until after you guys have sex and after you cuddle. That's probably unlikely. How's this? You lock the bedroom door and ignore the dog. And eventually they'll get the hint. Because neither one of you are prioritizing it. You're not prioritizing either. Your husband goes, oh, the dog needs to pee. We're up. Because I think, your husband may be walled off, and we'll get to that in a minute. Number two, what else you can do? Men in post-sex cuddling. 95% of surveyed men prefer not to cuddle after sleep. After that 2 minutes of hard work, what do they want to do? Lights out. So it's like, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Not fair to you ladies. I know, 100%. And I'm a reformed non-cuddler, so I'm happy to say that. If any men out there want to join the club, let me know. I can put you in touch with the club president, which is me. His routine, love it. I have my own routine. Sex, dog, sex, either one of those. Computer, nighttime pill, retainer, and sleep. Okay, that's his routine. He's got a sleep routine, which I love, and I love when my clients have sleep routines. So, what can you do? You can change his routine. Richie, how do you change his routine? Okay, this may be a leap, but what about if he holds his retainer hostage? Richie, you're crazy. Now, what you got to do is, before you get into bed, grab his retainer, put it under your pillow, or hide it somewhere in the room. And then after sex, he only gets the retainer after he cuddles. It's like training a dog, right? I'll give you this once you do this. Not totally out of the question. Worth a try. Then maybe another option is no sex without cuddling afterwards. And I think one of your points was you want him to wait until he gets back. You want him to feel like he can't wait to get back into bed. But again, if we think of, I hate to make this thing, maybe I'm going to get some comments, but if we think of our husbands as dogs, there's no reward. Why am I going back to bed? I already had sex. There's no reward there. So it's highly unlikely that that's going to happen, that he's going to want to be excited to get back into bed unless it's freezing cold out. So there's another thing you can do there is you can start going on strike. And I'll talk about that in a second. 3, I want to just put this out there, misery stabilizers. Misery stabilizers are things that we go to instead of going to our partner. A lot of the couples that I work with, a big misery stabilizer is our phone. We grab our phone, so when we're on our phone, we don't have to make connection to our partner. When we're on our computer, when we have to go walk the dog, we'll go in the basement to do projects. Careers are misery stabilizers. Sometimes children are misery stabilizers. Substances are misery stabilizers. So those are things that a partner that's walled off does to avoid intimacy. And walled off men, there's a million reasons why they avoid intimacy. And, the tip-top one is typically they grew up in a household where they didn't see that. I had a couple of months ago back that the wife had no idea that, it's the reason why he couldn't connect with her is because his father was all walled off. So that's so typical. So don't blame him. And what can help you with that? A walled off husband. You can try some things on your own, but getting in therapy with an RLT therapist, relational life therapist, is going to be really helpful to bringing those walls down, because you can't be intimate and vulnerable if you got walls up. Okay. Number 4. Sorry. Sorry. I've wiped my things on there. Expectations. You're not expecting too much. 2 minutes of sex, I'm just exaggerating. Maybe it's 3 or 4 minutes or 5 minutes. Maybe he's casting over and he goes for 10 minutes. But for you to, you guys to have 2 minutes or 3 minutes of sex, it's not a lot to ask for to have 2 or 3 minutes of cuddling. Okay? And things aren't changing because he's not hearing you. He's not hearing you. He's listening, but he's not hearing you. He's probably not validating that you're sad after you have sex and you don't cuddle. So what you need is to make sure he starts hearing you. And the only way you do that, and I do this with my couples, is we need to find a way to get leverage on him. So getting leverage, well, Richie, how do I do that? You need to stop doing things for him that he enjoys. I know it's a little harsh, but it's like, hey, honey, you know what? From now on, I'm not making dinner anymore unless, I get some cuddling after sex. Hey, honey, I am not, washing your clothes anymore until there's some post-sex cuddling, because I'm only asking for 2 or 3 minutes. And do you think that he's going to give up getting dinners, getting his laundry done, and whatever else you do to make this man happy? Do you think he's going to give up any of that stuff? No. So he's going to say that he's going to cuddle with you. And going forward, I am not going to do XYZ without cuddling after sex. I hope some of these tips helped. If you have any comments or you like this video, please like it. Bye.